What's up, guys? How's everybody doing? Welcome to RossonARI TV. We just witnessed greatness. We just witnessed Redbird greatness. We just saw what is apparently good for the Serie A ecosystem. You want it to be competitive. You want the small teams to beat the big teams. It's good for business, guys. Today is a dub. Today is a W for GERRI, for Redbird. Let's go. Vamos. If you're not celebrating today, you're not a real Milanista. If you're not celebrating today, you're not towing the line. GERRI said that dominating Serie A is not good. You don't want to do that. It's bad for business. Bad. Bad boy. Down. Down, boy. Stay down. Don't dominate. Don't dominate. So business was good today. Business was good. 100%. It was the first ever game broadcasted on American channel, non-paying and non-cable, so it was free. Basically, it was free. And in all fairness, it was good for business because it was a fucking crazy game with tons of chances, a really open game, lots of shots, lots of action. So, guys, GERRI wins all the fucking time. How does this guy always win? This guy always wins. I can't believe it. This motherfucker is a serial winner. This guy is a serial winner. He gave the American fan base of soccer watching Serie A show today. He gave them a show. It was action-packed, crossbars, posts, goals, shots. It was like a fucking action movie, Hollywood movie today. GERRI keeps on winning. This guy is a serial winner. Congratulations. Well done, GERRI. Well done. My hat goes off to you. My hat goes off to you. You're achieving all of your goals one by one. Anyway, let's talk a little bit about the game. Let me say hi to chat first. Then we'll talk a little bit about the game. Cardinale said, we win in the Scudetto. That's right. The financial balance sheet Scudetto. Pavlovic, Fofana, good. The rest, garbage. What's up, Edison? Desna, how you doing? Taremi with the assist already. Rafiq, what an embarrassment. Kashavit, Fonseca needs to go. Fonseca out already. Fadinho, hi guys. Forza Redbird. Guys, we are, if you really think about it, these guys are good. These guys are good. What's up, Amir? They got to sell the team or change sport. Enough is enough. Bunch of idiots, frauds. I doubt we can make the top 4 this season unless Fonseca adjusts formation to 3-4-3. We're just incapable of the ball. No one wants to run. Lazy idiots. Damn. Royale is a joke. Fonseca has no idea playing with that high line. I told you before, this coach is a fraud. Fonseca the fraud. Zion, bro, where you at? Where's Rocco? Guys, remember Rocco? Do you guys remember Rocco? Rocco said that as soon as, guys, you remember Rocco? The guy that spoke so eloquently, so articulate. His speech was so beautiful, guys. He sounded like Shakespeare. Talking about now that Maldini is gone, everything is going to be perfect. Maldini was the reason why things weren't going well. Now that Maldini is gone. And so many people believed him because he was so eloquent with the way he spoke. The guy has been hiding ever since. The guy has been hiding ever since. Where is he? What is this defense, by the way? Like, hello, Fonseca is the first to blame. That's right. We should keep Benny. We need experience in midfield. That's a big topic for today. Big topic for today. Winning the balance sheet. That's right, guys. This GERRI is winning the balance sheet Scudetto, and he's winning the it's good for business ecosystem Serie A do not dominate award. Yep, that's right. Let's go Furlani, man. Furlani, guys, cooking. This year we blame Calabria and Leao, who are blaming next year, maybe Chukwueze. Oh, Chukwueze, guys. Guys, Chukwueze lasted 45 minutes, nowhere to be seen. Lasted 45 minutes last game, nowhere to be seen. Eat shit, Cardinale. I'm just confused by this performance generally. I'll be sending the link in a second. I'll be sending the link in a second. Pioli's fault was losing to Inter. Pioli, guys. Pioli out. Today, guys, if nobody is saying Pioli out, I don't know. I don't know what people should be saying. What's up, Nathan? Bravo to all the fans. Bravo to all the fans that supported Redbird. This is the result you get. We're not Milan. Nathan, let's go. Forza Soccer. Hope people see Emerson is pointless and we need Gabbia. Never tomorrow. Guys, the moment guys, wow, Emerson today. Okay, let me just say my piece, guys, and then I'll open the lines because I just want to say what I think, and then you guys, I want to hear what you guys think because it's not really that much that I've got to say. And then anybody that wants to join, I'll put the link in, and you guys can actually take over. And the reason why I say take over is because honestly, guys, I'm tired. Because I know for, let's say, 80% of the fans are just discovering this mess right now. But for the people in this, for the most part, the people in this channel, me, Laert, and the other guys that joined the channel, and most of the guys that joined, not all of them, but most of the guys that joined the channel, like we've been saying this shit for 12 months now. We've been talking about these issues for 12 months every single day. And at a certain point, it just gets tiring. It's like, I don't even feel like talking about it anymore. It's like, what do I need to say? Is there anything new that needs to be said that we didn't already know about how this team was built, about the people that are running this team and how they view football? Guys, the people that run this team are not football fanatics. They don't know. They don't give a shit about football. They only care about finances. They don't understand the nuances of building a team, a winning team. They don't understand what it means to build a strong midfield with strong personality. They don't understand how to transmit a winning elite mentality to the project. They not only they don't understand that, they don't even know about it. That's the thing. They don't even know about this shit. Yesterday I had a live with Rock, and Rock said something that that I want to reiterate. Maldini was fired because he is too big for these people. Because when Maldini is in the room, everybody needs to just fucking bow down. What can Furlani, Moncada, GERRI Cardinale say to Maldini? Or even Ibra? What can all of these people say to someone like Maldini? What can they say? They can't say anything to a person like that. A man that has played in 8 Champions League finals, won 5 World Cup finals, Euro finals, Scudetti galore, been in this club for 30 years, even won awards as a manager, as a DS. He fucking won awards. The motherfucker even won awards as a DS. Anyway, I just wanted to reiterate that. But let's just talk about the game, guys. And then we'll open it up. And yeah, tick size, guys. Tick size from minute one. From minute one, he knew. He knew right away that with these people in charge, this is what you're going to be seeing. This is what you're going to be seeing. So you have to understand that 12 months, 13 months, 14 months later, it gets tiring, right? Now all the other channels are going to start to fucking wake up. You know, like most of the English Milan YouTube channels are hopefully they start to wake up. There are only a few that fucking are understanding what's going on, but most of them don't even understand how a club is run, how a club works. They just look at what happens on the pitch. So, you know, as 80% of the fans are waking up, I'm ready to fucking like go on holiday, guys. it's been 12 months of this shit. I don't know. Anyway, let me talk about the game real fast. Fonseca does not have any control over this team. He has absolutely no control over the tactics. He got outclassed by two coaches that just came out from the Serie B. Someone pointed that out earlier in the WhatsApp chat, and that is absolutely crazy. And let's just talk about that fucking high line. Why are you playing such a high line? Why are your defenders playing as cams? Guys, the goal, not the goal, the last play of the first half where they almost scored on us. I was looking at where Pavlovic and Tomori were. They were playing. They could have been cams. They were playing as cams essentially. Why the fuck are they playing so high? Like, guys, Fonseca is an amateur. What is this guy thinking? And again, there's nothing new to say. It's the same shit. This is a midfield that doesn't know how to defend. Attacking midfielders that don't know how to defend. This team has no bite. This team has no electricity. This team has no energy. This team doesn't have an elite mentality. This team doesn't have mentality. And honestly, Pavlovic today is proof that Fonseca has absolutely no control over this team. Why the fuck is Pavlovic playing as a box-to-box player? Why is Pavlovic making runs into the box? Why is Pavlovic making runs into the wing as if he's fucking Leao? Doesn't he know that when he does that, he's leaving 100 yards of open space behind him? Because literally, he literally went all the way down to the fucking line. He's a central defender. Why is Fonseca allowing that? That right there is proof that Fonseca does not have control over this team. Why? There's no chance in hell Fonseca told Pavlovic to go and play in the opposition box and attack and try score goals. Try to do 1-2s. Send the central defender to do 1-2s in the position box. Obviously, Pavlovic, this is his first game. He doesn't know what the fuck he's doing tactically. He doesn't know what he's doing tactically. But why is he playing so high? Every time he's so high the pitch, doesn't he know that he's leaving a fucking 100 yards of open space behind him? You could land an airplane. Why? That is proof right there that Fonseca has no control over this team. That is proof right there that Fonseca is on borrowed time. That is proof right there that, as I said, as I predicted, it is just a matter of time until they move to a 3-4-2. And I don't know how long he will last, but at the same time, I don't think they're going to change him because they can't afford to do it. But yeah, today was an absolute shambolic performance from the team, and yeah, Pavlovic had good plays in the back. No. I'm not saying Pavlovic was a problem. You got to open your ears, little child. I'm not saying Pavlovic was a problem. I'm saying that the fact that Pavlovic is going all the way down to the opposition box and leaving the whole fucking field open means that the coach doesn't have control over the team. Why the fuck would a coach allow a defender to do that? That is insane. Of course, you're going to get crazy counterattacks if your fucking central defenders are in the opposition box trying to do 1-2s or trying to play as a winger. What the fuck do you think is going to happen? What the fuck do you think is going to happen if you allow your central defenders to play like fucking strikers? Oh, my Lord. So, yeah, completely lost the plot. Absolutely shambolic performance today. And honestly, let me say this. Congratulations to Parma. What a team, guys. What a mentality, what a performance. What a yeah, what spirit, man? What spirit? And the confidence, the way they did their counterattacks was very impressive. Anyway, guys, that's all I got to say, guys. As I said, I'm fucking tired of this shit. The floor is yours. The floor is yours. Um, I'm done. So I'm open up the line. Antonio, go ahead.
Hey, how's it going? I just flew in this morning from my vacation, and I got up. I fell asleep, got up to watch the game, and I'll just give you my overall thoughts. First of all, like you were saying at the end, Parma played really well, super organized. Dennis Mann, I like that guy a lot. I mean, yeah, he scored a tap in, but the first game he scored a nice goal. Looks really good. Their right back was really good, even though we scored against Lau got the assist on that side for Pulisic. That right back looked like very, very solid. And overall, like a lot of these unknown players, they were just promoted, but they played.
Hey, I'm going to go out. I'm going to come back right back in.
Okay,
I'm just going to get my headphones working. All right.
Yeah. They tied Fiorentina game 1, and they beat us game 2. And I have to say, respect to them. Their counters are perfect. Both of the goals they scored were almost identical, where you have the winger cross the ball on the ground and there's a back post player, and they countered us. They linked up well, and they just completely destroyed our high line. And they had substitutes for their wingers too. They had first half was Mon and I forget this other guy, the blonde player. The second half was Almquist and Cancellieri, who got subbed in, and they both killed us. So the wings just destroyed us this game. So Parma looking really good, and this is the second game after Torino, like Roy was saying, where Italian coach just completely outclasses us. So now I just want to say about what I think about Milan. Um, I've been optimistic because I like to be a Milan fan and I like to have some hope, but I've never wanted Fonseca as a coach, and we did lives where I said I don't really know if he's better than Pioli. And Pioli was winning these games, especially at the beginning of this season. Now, it's the beginning of the season. You could say it's more important to finish strong. But if, you need to have some proof of concept, something that shows you some signs of life. And this is a really, really concerning opening to this season where we don't know what to think. We have Inter coming up in a few weeks. I think next week is Lazio, who lost today. But if you play like this against Inter, we're going to break the Derby record for the biggest loss margin. I mean, that's going to be brutal. So anyways, I agree 100% with Roy with the high line shit. I mean, Fonseca, his response in the press conferences was, how do you improve the defending? By attacking more, by pushing the whole team up the field.
Oh my God.
And I have to say this. So I want to make a few points about the defense because I think Pavlovic, I'll just say this. He was my only positive from the match because I thought that he was like always in like isolated situations by himself, and he made a lot of recoveries. Although yes, he was going up a lot. I don't agree with that, but I'm not really sure. Like, I don't really blame him. I think that he was like,
but that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know you didn't say that. But
That's the coach that has no control over the team.
yeah.
If your central defender is playing as a center forward, that means the coach has no control over the team. They're doing whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah. I think if you put Pavlovic on Inter, he would be like one of the best defense. Like he looked really good today, and if you give him more cover, he'd be even better. But he's good. I liked him. But besides that, I'm seeing a lot of people. First of all, I've never been a Calabria supporter, and I have called him out on games. Like Lyard and Roy do defend him a lot more than me. But I will say this: the booing after the first game at the stadium was really disgusting. Like, I would never boo him like that. And this game, he got subbed out for Emerson Royale. People on Twitter were noticing that, okay, whenever Parma would play over the top and counterattack us, Calabria, yes, he was getting beat for pace. But if you're going to call out Calabria, you also have to call out Theo Hernandez, because both of the goals were on. Oops. Okay, can you hear me still?
Yeah. Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, I think I just clicked on something. Yeah, okay, good. You also have to call it Theo Hernandez, because if you want to play the individual pointing fingers game, both of the goals also came from that wing too. Now, Fonseca said we had no left back cover whenever they would counter us. Fonseca said he wants Hernandez to play like a freaking forward. He wants all of our players to play like a forward. So not only do you play with a high line, but then you're surprised that we get that, Calabria or whatever is having to track back, and same with Hernandez. Both of them are leaving huge gaps. It's the tactics, not the individuals. So even though Calabria was getting beat for pace, he was always starting from behind, and they would always break through our press and then hit us play over the top balls, and we would get killed. So yes, people were so excited that Calabria was, being subbed out for Emerson Royale, who came in and he made that one really awful pass. He got a yellow card. I mean, I'm not an Emerson fan. I also think it's like 18 minutes. I don't want to like crucify the guy, but he wasn't good. But anyways, you don't blame individuals here. This is not an individuals game. So I really want to say that Calabria does not deserve all the hate that he's getting. For me, I agree. If the line is too high up the field, and the last thing I'll say is this: the market for me, I was just thinking about what we could have done. I mean, first of all, then we had three big areas that we had to cover: the coach, maybe the midfield, sure, and a striker. We didn't really need too many other things. If you could have brought in Conte, you could have played with a back three. You could have played solid. I'm not a huge Conte fan, but I would of course would take over Fonseca. You play solid, you save your money, and you get you bring in a midfielder and you try to get Osimhen, who right now doesn't have a team and is, you could maybe offer, because I don't think many teams want to spend that money. We'll see how much they sell him for, but or get a top striker. Morata's a good player, but this game, you're starting games. I mean, the first game, Zapata was the best striker on the pitch. You're starting games against these teams without a freaking striker who's ready. The preparation was awful. Morata got injured. It's not really his fault, whatever. But you need to have more than this. Okafor is a winger, in my opinion, not a sole striker. I don't want to. I like him, but he can't play there by himself. Jovic, for me, can't start games. So what's the point? You need to get a freaking striker, and you need to have a striker playing. We lost Giroud. We had no one to cross to the entire first half. So we didn't know what to do. And, I'll just say that. Everything else, I mean, is what it is. But, yeah.
All right. Abdi, you go next, and then we got ZZ. Is that Amir? Who's that? Yeah. All right, Abdi, go first, and then we'll go to Double Z.
Yeah, man. Really and truly, I didn't watch the first half. Like, I was doing something right, but on my way home in the car, I was listening to a guy commentating on the game, and I swear to God, the only thing I could hear every time was Pulisic is is on the ball. The next, he's been dispossessed and it's 2-on-1 or like 3-on-2. It was like they were bypassing, from what I could gauge from what the guy was saying, is they were just bypassing our whole midfield and they were through on goal every time. I don't think I've ever heard that in my life. I mean, in the second half, I think we were a bit better from what I was hearing in the first half. I mean, can you guys confirm that? Or am I just going crazy?
No, same shit.
Oh, yeah, guys. I have one quick thing. Also, for me, the whole CBS US thing was a huge conspiracy. Like, Musa and Pulisic start and play like most of the game. I mean, for me, that's all just corporate propaganda.
Definitely. I think Musa started because he's American.
Maybe, but...
So I don't want to interrupt. Sorry, bro.
Yeah. I mean, in the second half, Liao was wasteful. I think we have to be honest here. There was a couple of good chances we had, and Ruben Loftus-Cheek as well. I don't want to point fingers to people, right? But if we're talking about Fonseca, what doesn't make sense is I was reading his post-match interview, and he's talking about the tactics of this. We don't press up high. He's talking about all the tactics and all of this, but he doesn't implement it in the game, which does not make any sense. I don't know if the players are retarded and they're just doing what they want, or if he is just a complete fool and doesn't know what to do in the moment. I don't even know what to say. And I can't even use the excuse of, this is the second game of the season, because it was just shambles. It was so bad. Who are Parma? Genuinely. And he said, who are Parma for them to be doing that to us? they weren't doing anything special. Let's be honest. They were soaking up pressure and hitting us on the counter. But what surprised me was every time they hit us on the counter, we were open. Our legs were open. They were wide open. And I mean, props to Pavlovic. I mean, the guy was phenomenal. But
I thought it was good.
But boy,
Abdi, that point
yeah.
you just made, by the way, I 100% agree with. And Cannavaro, before the game, I was listening. He said he was talking about Serie A, and he said in Italy, yes, playing good football is important, but winning and tactics always come first. And Parma, like you said, yes, they deserve a lot of credit. They played just a clear tactical game. It was just absorbing and countering, and they did it perfectly. So I agree.
But sorry, I don't think it was. They played nice. I mean, it's not about, we didn't play defensively solid. We didn't play attackingly beautiful. Like if we play, this is not Zeman, right? We're not showing some offensive brilliance. We're literally, there is a level of disorganization on every single level. When you look defensively, we're disorganized. When you look at the way that our midfield is structured, it's disorganized. If you look at our buildup, there is no buildup of any kind. There is no strategy in terms of how you want to use Leao. There's no strategy about how you want to use your attacking players in any way, shape, or form. I mean, I get it. Like you winning is the most important thing, and I totally agree with that. But where is the evidence that Fonseca has done anything? I mean, literally anything. Like, where is there one thing that we see in this? And it's not just this game; it's against Torino as well. Like, where are we seeing anything in which we see any sort of patterns of play, any passing? Have we seen anything that has made us see like, oh, this is Fonseca ball. This is what he wants. We've seen nothing. This is Pioli, but worse. That's literally what it is. Because defensively, every team is going to give up the ball. You're gonna miss a pass. It's gonna happen. But the way that we're positioned, the way that our teams are, the way that our players are structured, their positioning, there's no passing. Like teams attack with that many players because they use passing as a way to negate the chance of then being countered. We're not using passing at all. Reinders, I don't think, had an amazing game. Like, okay, but he wasn't passing well. What did Musa do in a passing sense? Great, he dribbled and then he lost the ball, but he can't pass the ball. Ruben Loftus-Cheek can't pass the ball to save his life, but he played the whole 90. I mean, our only tactic was we're going to put it on the wing and then Pulisic or Leao. They're going to do something and we'll score. We're just crossing it. We're just aimlessly crossing it. And yet other teams, because remember, Torino, they played us, they looked more organized than we did. And it's not about players. It's about looking at the fact that there is no plan whatsoever. There is literally no plan.
Yeah. By the way, I just want to make it clear. I'm not saying that Fonseca is getting his good football across. I'm just trying to emphasize the point that this team has been talking about how they want to play the attacking football, and they don't seem to emphasize winning. Like they want to just make a competitive.
I want to understand, and then I want Ernesto to get in this. I want to understand something. How is it possible that we can see this shit, but they can't? Like, how is that fucking possible?
I think Fonseca's comments where he's saying, I take responsibility, but it's our defensive effort or whatever. That's like, you're not actually taking responsibility. Maybe it's a bad translation what I read. My Italian isn't great, but I just see somebody who's trying to pass the responsibility to other people when he's the one that's structured. I'll give you an example. Reinders, since Kessie left, we have been putting our more offensive midfielder on the left side of a double pivot when that's where Leao and Teo are. So why are we surprised when that side is being continuously exposed to attacks and counterattacks? These are the things that I don't understand what we're doing. It boggles my mind. It boggles my mind seeing this lack of organization. He came in saying defensive organization is my number one priority, and I see none of it.
Yeah, and he's never been known for that. Let's get Ernesto in here. What's up, Ernesto? How you doing, bro?
Hello, guys. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I want to say my thoughts. Okay. First of all, Denis Man and Mihaila played like how Leao and Pulisic needed to play. I am from Moldavia, and Romania is like a very close country, and it's just disappointing how Leao and Pulisic play. This is not how. I don't understand how Fonseca play because you can see all the players in attack, and when Parma gets in counter attack, you see only Tomori and Pavlovic. And when it comes to the midfield, you don't see them running back like Reinders and Musa, who Musa made a lot of mistakes today. I don't understand. And I don't think that Musa start today because he's American. I think he start today because of the assist against Torino. I think he will play good and Reinders. Um, Pavlovic was really good. I don't think he has faults for the goals we conceded today, but the rest, I don't know. You say that Calabria is not the fault of the team, but the first goal, you need to block Mihaela. Mihaela is not a top five wingers in the world. You're the captain of AC Milan. You need to do something. What the fuck is that? This is even against the match with Torino. He's always dribbling. Even Valeri, I don't know. Every player is dribbling Calabria. You're a defender. What the fuck? How you get past like that? Loftus-Cheek is not a number 10, and I think the next match we need to play 4-3-3 because I don't like Chukwueze and Pulisic as a 10, and I don't like Loftus-Cheek as a 10. This
I
is
think
Chukwueze got fired pretty much, dude. He lasted 45 minutes under Fonseca, and now he's on the bench. Another season on the bench for Chukwueze. Wow.
like I see on Twitter why we don't play Chukwueze. Guys, did you see how Chukwueze played against Torino? He didn't get past one player.
he lost the ball on the sideline like a couple times with no one around him.
Well, listen, let me just push back on some things. And I don't want to push back, but I'm just saying, like, the goals, I don't think, like, it's harsh to blame one player on these goals. Like, the
You
goals
can
is like
blame.
the whole team just like did not defend. Honestly,
Mm.
guys, let's be honest. Can we be 100% honest? The game today should have ended maybe 5-2 for Parma.
Yeah,
No, I
Maybe
don't.
you guys should.
No,
I don't think so.
they had
I
so
don't
many
think
no,
so.
no, no,
chances.
no.
I think
They
Pavlovic and Tomori shielded us from a lot
Have you
more, like
wait?
a lot more
Nah.
worse situations.
What do you?
Honestly,
Mm,
What about those?
yeah.
They hit the bar once, right? They hit the bar. They had.
and Reinders hit the bar.
they
Yeah,
had some pretty
exactly.
poor finishes
I'm
too.
saying 5-2. I'm not saying.
Mm, I mean,
What
I mean, look,
about the shot
I'm
from
talking.
Okafor?
Yeah, but here's what I'm talking from a perspective of I only watched the second half, so maybe you're right in that sense. But I mean, we
First half was
created a
worse.
lot.
First half, they could have scored three
First
goals.
half was where they
Yeah, yeah. From
really
what I was listening from the
couldn't run.
commentary, all I could hear was we've been dispossessed and they're through on goal. That's literally all I could hear the first half. But look, if we're talking second half, I mean, there was a good amount of chances that Liao had where he was skying the ball again. And I don't want to talk about individuals, but it has to be addressed. Liao, the first goal he scored, he assisted Pulisic, and it was really good from him. But there was too many chances where he was on the edge of the box and he skies the ball constantly.
But what else? The thing is, we have a lack of attacking
Mm.
organization where all we do is we ask our wingers, please do something.
Yeah.
Other teams are able to create attacks where you're going to get clear shots on goal, where you're moving a team out of, moving your opponents out of their defensive shape so that you can get shots. Yes, Leao had a bad game today, shooting wise. There's no way around that. He didn't
Mm.
have a good game, but the second half was much different than the first, to be fair,
Okay.
but it wasn't good enough because this is a newly promoted side. That's number one. But number two,
Yeah.
offensively, we do nothing. Why is Ruben Loftus-Cheek playing the full 90? The full 90 when he was terrible today. Terrible. Like we're talking about missing basic passes, no shots. Like he did nothing. So I look at it as I'm thinking, well, what is our coherent strategy when it comes to attacking? Like If you look at other big teams, they have strategies in terms of the way that they want to pull teams apart. Like, I don't see anything. I see us recycling possession between our back line, and then we get it to the wing when they open up, and then the wing drives forward, and then they cross it. That's all we do.
Yeah,
We
look for me.
conceded the center of the pitch, conceded it.
Yeah, let me say this. I want to get Maldinho in here. I
Wait a
want
minute.
to. I want
Can I
to.
me?
Yeah, let me just say this real fast. I want to get you in. So
Yeah.
Kashevit says Milan allowed them to play like that. The issue with Milan is that teams are just not scared to play around us because they know that they can just play around us easily. So they can close themselves in defense, 11 men in front, and then when they get the ball, they know it's easy to do a few 1-2s and they're through and go. It's too easy. No team fears to play against us. No team fears us. All right, Maldinho, go ahead.
Yeah, talking about attack, I think we can't see like our attack yet. If we're bad, if we're good, because in both games we literally received goals. Like they scored first, like early game. So and in Italy, like teams just close up if they score early in the game, and that's fucking Parma and Torino. They're gonna play defense and counterattacks. So it was hard for us to attack. Like if you look at the preseason, like our attack looked so different. Like we played Barcelona and City, who give us like open spaces. They attack. You know what I mean. They don't just go back and like sit with fucking 10 people in defense. So it's easier for us to play to attack. But if they score like in Torino and Parma, if they score early and close up, how are you gonna attack? I know you gotta have strategies, but we tried. I didn't see that we have a very bad attack. I mean, yeah, players like Liao and Theo we're lazy, but still, like, I think our problem is the defense. Like, I was watching Inter right now. They don't play good as well in attack. Like, it looked so random for me. But every game, they just fucking score a fucking goal, one goal, and they just fucking close up. Like, they don't let the other teams play and score goals.
Yeah,
Our
because
defense, our
because
defense is the problem. It's
In
not
Serie
attack.
A, defense wins you the league.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm talking about.
But
I
it's a
think.
lack of organization. I mean, if you're
Yeah, it's
going to
because of the
attack,
pressure, because both games we like they scored first, like literally early game.
but it's not
So
about.
the
I'm
whole
sorry.
team, I don't know, like it feels like they get scared, nervous, and they can't attack anymore. I mean, that's a problem. Yeah, I agree, I understand, but why is this happening? It's because we keep like we concede goals very easily. That's the problem. And like he's talking about pressing high and stuff. Don't press high. Don't change that strategy. Why are we playing like that? If players like Theo and Liao don't want to run, they are literally so lazy. No one wants to run. Like look at the players. Why are we using this strategy? Even if that's how you play, even if those are your tactics, just change them,
Sure.
or at least like play with another formation like 4-3-3. Like you literally need three players in the midfield. Like you play with Fofana, Benacer, and Reinders maybe. Like why is Loftus Cheeks play like Reinders is literally better in defense and in attack. Maybe in attack. I don't know about defense.
Not defense, no. I mean,
Yeah,
right?
attack.
Ruben Loftus-Cheek is bad in everything. I mean, he
Yeah, yeah,
if
I
he's
agree.
if
I
he's
agree.
I
if he's
disagree.
not
I
scoring,
disagree.
if he's not scoring,
Mm,
it's a question of which Ruben Loftus-Cheek do you get. If you
Yeah,
get Ruben
yeah,
Loftus-Cheek against PSG, which he didn't score, he didn't assist, but he cared. But when Ruben doesn't care, what does he do? He can't
yeah,
pass. He just can't pass. But the thing is that he's not a midfielder for a 4-2-3-1. You put him as an LCM or an RCM in a 4-3-3, then yeah, he'll kick ass.
I
The
agree.
problem is it's constantly Musa is not a double
That's
pivot
true.
player, but we're
Exactly.
playing him in a double pivot. We're constantly putting players in the wrong spot, in the wrong way to play. Like for instance, the way we played against Napoli. That's basically a 4-3-3, right?
Yeah,
We had three real midfielders and we controlled the middle of the pitch. We're not controlling the middle of the pitch. We're giving it up. Think
yeah,
about what we didn't have one single attack today through the middle. Not one.
yeah,
When we did, it was a wing, and then he would cut in, like Pulisic would cut inside, and then it'd be like a scramble, and then we take a shot. But we're not building through the middle, which means that all teams are doing is they're just sitting and then they're able to build up through, because what do? Whenever we get attacked, everybody rushes forward. Like the second goal, yes, we're pushing for a goal, but my God, everyone's just rushing. They're just and they just stand there. There's no movement. There's no tactical setup of like, okay, we're gonna when a team sets in a low block, what are we going to do? How are we going to move them out of their shape? Other teams do this, and yet we're unable to do it. That's the
Yeah,
thing,
we're too slow. Yeah.
because we don't pass. What
Yeah.
who only Ryan we expect Reinders didn't have a good game today. I'm sorry. I like Reinders a lot.
Mm.
But when I mean that is like he didn't all of our tactics right now require our players to have super excellent games for it to work. It requires Teo Hernandez to have a super excellent game where he's running no matter what. He gave up on the first goal. He just didn't. He should have run back. But what I'm saying is that if our tactics rely on our players to just have like a Champions League, game level of effort, then the team's going to be burnt out. Teams don't do that. You have to have a strategy and a way of playing in which you can just get through these routine games, and we don't have that because
I
we
mean,
don't pass. Think about how poorly we passed today, and think about
yeah.
the games under Pioli. How much he hated passing. Genuinely, all his teams he hates passing. He just wants his players to kick. We want to dribble. All we're gonna do is we're gonna dribble. What is Musa doing today? He gets the ball. He doesn't know what to do with the ball. He can't pass the ball, so then he just dribbles, and then he has nothing to do. And all of our attackers, the front four, they just sit in a line, just waiting for the ball. I mean, other teams are able to pass around.
Still, I think it's we didn't see our attack strategy yet because of we were unlucky the first two games. Not unlucky. I mean, we are to blame. Like the coach is to blame because of
Mhm.
this trash defense. The players were nervous. Like what's happening? Like everyone was shocked. No one gave it all. It's because we conceded early. That's it. But that's what I'm gonna like. That's my opinion. Like
Mm.
we score every game, like literally every game we can score a game. We can score a goal. I don't know how, I don't care how we score. That's what Inter does. If we have, just like Roy said, defense wins you titles and games. If we have a good defense, that's how we're gonna win. Like even
I
if
agree.
we,
But I don't
yeah,
think defense is just defenders. Defense is
yeah,
is
exactly,
defense
the whole
defense
team.
is a whole team, and
Yeah,
y- you know there's something called rest defense. I don't know, other people have it in different languages. English isn't my first language, but like in I know I was taught it as rest defense, which is how is your team positioned when you have the ball and you lose it. So
yeah.
the idea is like where you're I think when you look at our rest defense, we are constantly in the wrong spot where it's just opening up. All we're doing is we're just waiting. We just hope that Tomori and Pavlovic now, we just hoping that our center backs who are left alone on islands will be able to defend and recover for the horrific spacing that we have. I literally look at what we are doing and I see Pioli. Worse Pioli actually.
I mean,
Like
yeah, worse Pioli. Like I have never seen a team play defense
Yeah,
like
I
this.
don't think Pioli's
Never
ever
in my
played like
life.
this. I've never seen
Never
Pioli
in
play
my
like
life.
this.
What is this defense like? What is this back line? Where's the midfield? No one is defending.
The backline left maybe as some plays. The backline was leaving maybe 70 yards behind them, and I'm not even
Yeah,
joking. 70
yeah,
yards for real.
no defense is going to be able to handle that much open space. I
yeah,
mean,
that's true.
attackers are too good, and I mean, again, it's what happens if somebody just I mean, shot someone can just have a lucky shot. Like it's a low scoring game. So the thing is like it just takes one slip, it takes one thing but when you're constantly exposing your defense to these extremely dangerous situations game after game after game, like
Yeah,
I know Fonseca should get more time, right? That's what you should say. But will he get more time? But also, I look at it as um, you won't get that time. This is Milan. This is not a
yeah,
small team.
exactly. Yep.
Like it's just not. The pressure is there, the time is there, and I don't see any improvement. Like for instance, you're talking about preseason. Yes, when teams attack us, maybe we'll look better, but also at the same time, Torino actually had phases of the game. Parma had phases of the game where they were attacking us, where they had the ball more than us, and we looked lost, completely lost.
Yeah,
Like and that's what scares me. There is no organization in this team whatsoever. That's what scares me.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's easy to say, like, there's no question, like, we need to change the strategies, the tactics. So, do you think that Fonseca is gonna do that? Like, is he gonna like change his
Well,
play style? I don't think so. So, is the
but
solution to
he
fire
did.
him?
He
Well,
already
It's not gonna
did.
happen.
look, in when he coached Roma, the exact same thing happened with him. Exactly the same. And then he moved to a 3-4-2-1 after I don't know how many games. And then he went on an 8 game unbeaten run, and he stuck with that. He stuck with that formation, but he still was conceding a lot of goals with that formation. So I'm assuming he's going to do the same thing with Milan. What he did with Roma. I think he's going to do the same thing. He's starting exactly the way he started with Roma, and he's probably going to finish the way he finished with Roma.
It's looking terrible. I think missing out on Mota and missing out on Deserbi and missing out on a bunch of other
Yeah.
managers looks like a terrible decision because and this they made the choice to go after Fonseca. Like Deserbi was begging for this job. He had been talking about Milan in so many podcasts. He's like, "Oh, Milan is my home." And so that he's begging for this job. And
Yeah.
we went after Fonseca. This was their choice.
Hmm.
Yeah, and Fahadinho, you're 100% on the target. With respect to all the panel, but let's address the elephant in the room. Say what you want to say, but the coach, tactics, players, etc. Our problem is the management
Of
slash owner.
Yeah.
course. I mean, everyone agrees.
But
Who chose the coach?
they were the ones who said that Maldini was the problem. They're the ones like they threw a lot of shit on Maldini when they fired him and pretending that it it wasn't that it was his fault and that and then they put all their faith in Pioli, and then Pioli took a shit on them last year by underperforming and by doing the same thing, and now they got Fonseca who seems to be doing the exact same thing that Pioli did, which having a disorganized team that doesn't know how to defend, they don't know what they want to do with the ball, they have no ideas. Like there is no style of like when you see a team where they like maybe we lose, but you can see what they're trying to do. Like you can see the new like ideas. Um, I don't see that here at all.
Yeah. No.
I'm just concerned that we're an Italian team with barely any Italian players, no Italian in the management, and not an Italian coach playing in Serie A. For me, that's it kind of seems like extremely naive there. At least get a coach. At least like any of the guys you named. At least get an Italian coach, someone who's
Yeah.
experienced that has some. I love Italian coaches. I mean, they're one of the best. I mean, Italy, Germany,
Tempest.
Spain are
Better
like
than Germany.
the best coaches, I think. And we're getting someone who I think only like 3 coaches have won Serie A that are foreign or something like that. So it's just very naive from their part, and they're insisting on this like globalized marketing Milan, Americanized Milan. It's like at least something you can retain some
I
identity.
mean, listen, look, I agree 100%, but I will make concessions. If you're going to get a foreign coach, get a top fucking coach. Get Klopp.
Oh, if you get
Get-
Pep Guardiola, I'm not going to
Get one of those kind of coaches. Don't get a mid-tier coach. What the fuck?
No, but Moto was there. That's the problem I have. Moto was there. Deserbi was there. Those are like, if you want to say, oh, they're a risk. People say, oh, they're a risk. What is Fonseca? What is Fonseca but a risk himself? He's as much of a risk as
Yeah.
those two guys are. And they lost. They stopped going after. They stopped going after Mota because they wanted to keep Pioli because he had that little run in the winter time, right? And with Deserbi, okay, oh, he had a bad second season at Brighton, a tiny team in England, right? Fine, he did a bad job, or things didn't go well his second season when he had a bunch of injuries, but he's begging for the job. I don't see what Fonseca's not like Allegri, right? I don't like Allegri, but like he's not Allegri. Like he's not some like he's like what you get. Like he's not. He's as much of a gamble as Deserbi is, and so they're the ones who made sure, this management made sure to shit on Maldini. They shit on Masada, right? They shit on everybody, right? It's everybody else's fault, right? Not theirs, right? And they said, oh, and by the way, our whole season, was all because of Charles de Ketelaere. It was all his fault. If it wasn't Pioli that was bad that season, it was just Charles de Ketelaere. That's the only reason. And by the way, every kid that we loaned out last year, Salamakers, right? He's at Bologna. He's with a good coach. He suddenly looks like a good player. Charles de Ketelaere. I've never liked him, but he goes to Atalanta. He looks like a good player. I mean, let's see what all the players that we send out in loan. They're going to go to another place. They're going to be with a better coach, and then they're going to suddenly be a better player. What's the problem? Maybe the problem is here. Maybe the problem is that Moncada. Where's the super secret signings that he's supposed to be able to get? He's the one who's supposed. They were saying, oh, if it wasn't for Maldini, right? Oh, we would have had Enzo Fernandez. Okay, what stopped him? Who did we get last year? We got Pellegrini, who sucks so bad that we had to send him out after like 30 seconds of game time. Like, where are these like little secret players? No, we spent 28 million on Chukwueze. We got Okafor, who's okay, but like, okay, fine. You renewed Jovic when you didn't have to. Like, where is the soup? Musa's been terrible. He's been terrible. I don't know why. Like, he's been terrible, and yet we spent all like that. He was a big chunk of the Tonali money that we spent. Like, where's the responsibility? Like, if Charles de Ketelaere was the reason why we fired Maldini, then what the hell do we talk about with all the money we spent on Chukwueze, the money that we spent on and with Ruben Loftus-Cheek doing what? Doing nothing.
Yeah, guys, let me just do a shout out here. Red Devil Studio, what's up, my man? Big up, guys. Really wanted to do that Serie A preview with you guys, but so busy with work. All good. If you still want to do it, we can do it at the end of the month. Because honestly, right now, I wouldn't even be able to. I want to see how the market ends right now in Italy before doing that. But guys, Red Devil Studio, brother of this channel. If you guys go and subscribe to his channel, a great guy, great person. Yeah.
I'm sorry I went on that rant, but I can't.
No,
Like,
you are right. Everything you said is right.
I look at us consistently misusing players. You're asking them to do things that is not best for them, and there is a way to play. And if you look at how we are set up and how much shit that this management talked, they talked a lot. They talked a lot, and they acted like they are smarter than everybody. And that only works when you win. And I don't want to hear about Fonseca needing time, even though I know it. But like, you don't get time at this level. You don't. And the thing is, this isn't Arsenal, and we don't have the English Premier League money to let. And also, we're too far ahead. Like, when Arteta took over Arsenal were shit. So him being bad for 2 years or whatever, that's fine. You're taking over a team that has won a Scudetto, that has been to a Champions League semifinal, and was in second place last year. Fine, far back, but still, we're talking about second place. Because again, we played Torino, who had a new coach, and we played Parma, a newly promoted team. These are not teams that should be giving us trouble. And
both coaches that come from Serie B.
Exactly. So it's like, when people say, like, people want to say, oh, well, we don't have, like, I don't think the transfer market is going to solve our problems. Let's say Fofana and Pavlovic are amazing. Amazing. We're still going to have a problem at 10. We're sending the only natural 10 we have, Yassine Adli. We're going to sell him. Okay. We're going to keep Musa, who can't play in any position in the way we play in a 4-2-3-1. He's a 4-3-3 midfielder. Ruben Loftus-Cheek, a 4-3-3 midfielder. But like, we're not playing a 4-3-3. We haven't seen a 4-3-3. So what are we going to do? These are the games that you're supposed to win so that you can build up. Yeah. Inter is going to be a horrific. And by the way, Inter doesn't look good this year. They don't.
Yeah.
They don't look like, they're not Inter of last year, but they're going to destroy us. They're going to destroy us only because they're organized. They're organized. It's just basic organization.
That's true.
There is no organization here. Sorry.
I mean, look, we have Fonseca now, and I think we all know he's not going to leave now. So we just have to put up with him in the meantime and support him as much as we can. But I mean, I don't know whether or not today if I should put it on him or not, because some of the defensive mistakes that I'm seeing, I literally just went back and saw the highlights. Every attack they had in the first half, they they were through on goal each time, which doesn't make sense because I don't think Fonseca is stupid enough to set up his team in that way.
No, I
Like,
think
I think he
sorry,
is. I'm sorry. I think he
Abdi,
is.
but he said in the press conference that that's how he prepared the team to do what we saw today all week. That's what he said. He said that he prepared the team to play a really high line and be aggressive off the ball and win the ball right away. That was the strategy that he went for. So he got outclassed.
I'm sorry. Like I think I with all due respect, I know
yeah,
like I look at it as Fonseca doesn't. He thinks he's playing actually even differently than he did at Lille. He played with Angel Gomez, or maybe it's Angel Gomez, however you pronounce his name. Um, but like he played as he had a more midfielder passer type as his 10. We have been using Pulisic as a 10, which we know doesn't work, and you put Chukwueze, who we know kind of sucks, and he's the one who played in the shape that he did against Torino, and we got obliterated. We were like, it's just the quality of this team is so good, and they were like, no, we're not going to lose, and they, to their credit, they fought back. Fine, you had your mistake, you got kicked in the butt, fine, but this is against Parma. Like you set up the team, this way, like there is too much quality in this team to have a team pass around you. They're not there. It's because of, like, if you look at the positioning of all our players, like, again, you see, if you like, there are times when we have the ball and our whole team just stands. They're not moving. Like, pass and move is something that you teach little kids. Like, I played like elite ball when I was young. I'm old now, but like when I was young, I played like elite ball. But you don't have to be like some elite baller playing for your national team or whatever to know that you just passing and moving. Like Fonseca talked a lot of shit. Like this management talked a lot of shit. Ibrahimovic has, and I love him. I love Ibrahimovic. He's been talking a lot of shit, talking about himself as God, and we're on the sixth day and the squad is complete. Like, if people think that it's just players, that we don't have a shit squad, I completely disagree with you, because we're continuously going against teams like Parma, like Torino, who don't have better squads than us, but are outplaying us. They're outplaying us, and
Yeah.
it's
they,
not because of
And
the squad quality.
let me say something about that with Ibra. Ibra is acting like a child. Like we didn't see Marotta using that kind of language. We don't see Marotta on Instagram acting like a fool. We don't see Marotta saying that he's God working on the Maldini didn't do that. Like Ibra, the way Ibra is talking and the way he's presenting himself, it doesn't look good for the players. It doesn't look like this is a serious project. It looks like
It's
we're
because the
playing.
Americans want him to promote the club. That's why he's doing it. They selected him. They selected him because he can get eyes on the club, which is fine. But you have to win, and they don't have the man. Like they don't have a Marotta. They don't have people who are in the club, right? And maybe Moncada's brilliant at identifying players. So far, I don't see it, but so like we'll
French
see.
players.
Yeah, French players, fine, but and you're giving up on a lot of them for what? Like, we're gonna give up Benacer for Musa? Why?
yeah.
Why?
Um,
Why are we giving up Benacer for Musa? What has Musa done in the last year that would make you think that this is a kid we can rely on? Great, he's physical and fast, but he's not. He's a 4-3-3 midfielder. Even for the U.S., I don't watch the U.S., but the only time I do, I went to school in a like American schools. I have an American accent, whatever. But like the U.S., bro, they're just he plays in a 4-3-3 there. Like, you're not even maximizing the players you do have, and then the ones who we actually like, you're gonna sell Benacer for Musa for what? And then fine, let's say we sell Benacer. Great. What are we gonna do? We're gonna get Manu Kone, who's a good player,
That's
but
a
he's
that's a
not.
downgrade. That's a
No,
downgrade.
Yeah,
but it's not just that. But he's also not a 4-2-3-1 midfielder. He's just not. He's another kid who plays well in a 4-3-3. Like, what the hell are we doing?
I mean, look, in hindsight, is the second game. It was horrible performance today, I know, but you kind of just have to move on and just think of this as a blip. Because me personally, I could not believe Ruben Loftus-Cheek today. I've seen him play and he's not this bad. Today, I'm willing to let it go as it was just a
Abdi,
bad day in the office, but
for
give
me, Abdi,
him a chance.
for me, in hindsight, this is the 13th month. You know, it's not the second day; it's the 13th month, and I'm just tired of it. I'm just fucking tired of it. Like,
Yeah, I know he's a new
I almost.
manager. He wants, you know, I mean, just give him time. Maybe he'll cook. You
Oh
never
wait,
know.
oh wait, look at this. Edison says Cornet just agreed with Roma. Okay, so he's joining Roma. I know that it was between us and them.
which is fine. It's just there. It's Fonseca. Yes, you know what? Can be honest with you? Yeah, maybe Fonseca, if he gave him time, that he would
Mm,
become, the next Pep, right? The problem is that this is Milan. You don't get time. And number two, and I think the other thing is Serie A, unlike the Bundesliga and unlike La Liga, it's hard
yeah,
to beat like Barcelona. How bad did like they're not going to get out of the top four. Bayern Munich, Borussia Dortmund. Borussia Dortmund sells players all the time, but they're always in the top four because like if you look at who are the top four teams in Germany, right? It's always going to be Bayern, Dortmund, and then the other two teams rotate. Right now, Leverkusen's in there, but like it rotates, it doesn't matter. Here in Serie A is so competitive that you don't have the ability, right,
yeah,
to have a building year. Like, and also we can't afford to have a building year because then what happens? Do we lose Teo? Do we lose Mike? Do we lose
ooh,
Leao? Like, and I don't look at this management and I don't see them bringing in somebody who can be as good as Teo. Like, we don't even have a backup for Teo to begin with, right? Like, let's say all our players are tired from the Euros, which is totally fair. We don't even have a backup. We played Salamakers at left back. That's Fonseca's choice. Like, Terechano, not good. Terrible the whole preseason. Played the whole preseason. It's trash. Like, we don't have, like, what are we doing here? Like,
Yeah,
what are we doing?
and Serie A is a league known for its tactics and the coaches being very prepared
Yes.
tactically. Fonseca's
Even
going to
the
get
small teams.
outfoxed by everybody, dude. He's
He
going to
he
get
has
outfoxed
been.
by everybody.
He has been. Fonseca has again when people when people want to say like, oh, our squad sucks, bro. We got smacked around by Torino, smacked around, and today was worse.
Listen, I want to replay. No, I don't want to get too deep into this. Smitty 09. You're saying Maldini got bad players. Let's not talk about the players. Let's just talk about the mentality that Maldini brought to the club. That's what we don't have now. We have people running the club that didn't even know what the Champions League means. People that didn't even know that Milan was like the second most decorated team. It's
Our
just
owner,
the owner didn't even know that Milan was the second most decorated team in the world. That means that he doesn't know the culture. He
but
doesn't know the culture.
any management team is going to have bad transfers. That's the thing. So
Yeah.
if the whole point of firing Maldini was because of Charles de Ketelaere, oh no, oh shit, oh my god, he had a bad transfer. A kid didn't work. By the way, I don't know if people remember this. Like Edgar Davids sucked here, he left.
Yeah.
Patrick Kluivert sucked here, he left. Like players fail. Like it just happens. Like again, those like Edgar Davids is I think he's underrated, but like he's a great player, all-time great player. But he didn't do well at Milan. So what do you want him to do? Do you want Galliani to just sit and hug him forever? No. But like the issue is that it's like you're gonna miss on transfers. The problem that we have now is it seems that we are buying players that don't actually fit in what the hell we're supposed to be doing. That's the difference that I
Yeah,
see
Listen,
because
personally.
they
I
don't
think
know what they're doing.
I
They don't
think
know
it's
what
the
they're doing.
coach. I still think it's the coach. Don't we have the second or even first best team in Italy? Like
First what? Sorry.
talking about players only players. I don't agree with some of the deals. Like as you said, like we don't have a TU backup, and I don't know why we are selling Benacer now. I agree with this, but still, like we literally have the second. I'm not gonna say the best, second best team in the league.
Yeah,
I think
Like,
we
if you
do.
look at
give me
players at
another
Inter,
team that
I
have
don't know.
better players than
no, no, no.
Milan.
Think about
I
it.
Like,
don't.
we,
How did
I
this
don't know if
whole
I agree with that.
everyone said Hakan Çalhanoğlu sucks, and now everyone talks about,
he's
oh, I
good.
can't believe we
No,
let. No, 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 no. But I'm saying is if you look at Inter like a Cherby, when Inter got a Cherby, everyone made fun of Inter, including me, by the way. But the difference is that Cherby and Hakan Çalhanoğlu and all these players, Mkhitaryan, all
have
these
the
players,
experience.
they play in no, but they play in a coherent system.
Yeah,
Inzaghi
Yeah.
plays a coherent system. There is no system here. No one,
exactly.
everyone,
So it's the
everyone knows
coach.
what they're
It's literally the
exactly. It is the
coach.
coach, but the thing is, the management has to take responsibility for this. They have to
Exactly.
take
Yeah,
Of
yeah,
course.
responsibility.
Who chose the
100%.
coach? It's the
The management,
management.
yeah.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Like, we literally
And
have the players. I know we don't have the players like in the Premier League, in fucking Spain, Real Madrid, and Barcelona, but in Italy we literally have I would say, in my opinion, the best team in Italy.
We have.
I mean,
I don't
we
know.
don't.
I don't agree with that.
I
I
don't know.
know.
I think we
Listen,
have a
listen,
great
listen,
team.
listen.
No, no, I
I
agree.
Yeah,
I think we have a
exactly.
great team. But
I
the
think
thing
we
is,
need
when you have such
leaders.
bad tactics, when you have such bad tactics,
Exactly. It's
how
the
are you
coach.
expecting us to look good? I look at it.
No,
You're not using Leao in a way that makes sense. People can okay, he doesn't shoot well, but what do? The ball, like there is no strategy what to do. They just give him the ball and everyone just sits and watches him. They literally just sit and watch him. Like, please do something, Leao. Please do something.
Yeah, like
mm,
before we got Fofana and Bablovic, who I think they are really good, really great actually. Uh, After we got them, I that's when I started thinking like we now have the best team. I didn't agree with the Emerson Royal deal. I watched him all year last year. He was so bad. I
yeah,
know this player very well.
Emerson's terrible.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
he's
Emerson.
really
What
bad.
did Emerson do
Uh,
today?
he's bad. He's bad. Trust me. Like
okay, but
I just
guys,
don't
guys,
like
but
him.
let's not get fooled here. Pavlovic and Fofana have not done anything to show that they're world class players. Like they're normal
Well,
players. Like
I mean,
they're not
Right,
world
but you
Bablovic
class.
don't
played
need
really
Pavlovic
world
is
good
class
amazing.
today.
players.
Come on.
That's what I'm
He,
saying. You don't need world class.
Yeah,
No,
this
no,
is
no. What
where
I'm
I
saying is,
disagree. This is
what?
where I
Okay, no, no,
disagree.
no. I want world class players. But what I'm saying is that for the games that we are losing
yeah.
against Torino, against Parma, you don't need world class players to beat those teams. You don't need to have world class players, right, to be a good team.
And can
I
we
think,
get world class players? We can.
mate,
Yeah, we
if you're
can.
scout, we
Of course we
can.
can.
How?
Okay,
How?
look, check this out. Check this out. First of all, you keep Kessi, you keep Tonali, you get Gundogan for free, you get Shaka for free, you keep Benacer. Imagine having a midfield Kessi, Tonali, Shaka, Gundogan,
Kessie
and
didn't want to
Well,
Benacer.
I
stay.
think
I'm
Fofana is
sorry, I
better than
disagree.
Kisei. I'm
Kessie
sorry
wanted to
that
leave.
maybe you are gonna laugh at me, but I also watched Fofana last season. I know he played in League One, but you are gonna see he's a really complete midfielder. He's really good.
I think even if we
Yes.
had world class players, let's say Fofana and Pavlovich become world class, for the sake of
Yeah, they
argument,
could
let's say they
exactly they
could.
could.
They could, but okay, let's say they could. If you still don't have a plan, it's going to look terrible. It's going to
Yeah,
look
that's
terrible.
true.
E-
That's true.
The,
And
the,
that's
the, the fact
when
that
we
we're
get
so disorganized every single game, to me, it doesn't matter how good our team is. Let's say we had Man City's team. I'm being dead serious right now. Let's say we got Rodri instead of Fofana. I still think we're going to have a problem.
No, you're still gonna have problems,
Mm,
but these players know how to handle situations better. They
Sure,
know how to
but the
handle
lack of
moments better.
organization in
but
my
Roy,
But
I look.
also, hold on. But
mm,
these players know how to organize themselves better too. That's why they're
No,
world
but like,
class.
the
but
They,
players
Italy is all about tactics. We can't say that Italy is the most tactical league and our manager doesn't understand tactics, and then
no.
say if we just buy.
You also need a world class tactician. I
Yeah,
don't. I
I
think
agree.
if you're Milan, you need to have a world class everything, a
I
world
agree.
class
I'm saying if their
owner, a
strategy,
world
if there's,
class management, a world class
I totally
DS,
agree.
a
I'm
world
saying
class
if
a
your
world
strategy is.
class
Mhm.
janitor. The
Yeah,
janitors
but
need
if
to be
your
world class.
strategy is to be smarter and to get transfers that other people won't see, right? You're like, okay, we're going to be Moneyball, right? If that's your
Yeah,
strategy, then you
that's
need
not
to
gonna
put your money.
cut it.
I'm not saying I agree with this. Listen. I
I
want
know
us
what I
to be
know.
spending,
You don't
but I'm saying
agree.
if your strategy is we're going to find players that other people don't recognize are good. That's great. I love that. By the way, if every player is like Kaká, where you get for like you pay like 10 cents and you get an amazing player, I'll be happy. I don't give a shit. I don't want to spend a lot of money just to spend it. But I'm talking about their strategy. Their strategy is they're like, listen, we have what did what's his name? Jerry Cardinale say? He said, "Oh, I have an algorithm. We understand all this sort of shit." Great. You have an algorithm. But bro, you have a coach who doesn't even understand how to
But
create a simple
listen,
passing
listen.
pattern. Even
But
if we had the best players, we'd still be shit because of how bad this
It's
coaching
the
is.
coach. Yep, it's the coach. Roy, give me a
Give
team
him.
in Italy that has
so,
better
sorry.
players than Milan. Forget about Inter. Who are you gonna say? Juventus?
Oh, okay. Mm,
Maybe Juve, yeah. Maybe
Nah.
Atalanta, maybe Roma, maybe not. I mean, listen, the
mm,
midfield, Milan is not second or first in Italy with the
Use the
midfield.
Roma game actually. Actually, you know what, Roy? The
Maybe,
Roma game. I
maybe
think illustrates this point from
our
last.
midfield maybe is maybe sixth best, fifth best. I mean, guys, are we blind? Are we not seeing this? What we saw today was not the first time that we saw this.
Let me. Can I give one example,
but
Roy?
this is a new
With
season.
against
I don't think you should
Roma
be
last
going
year
in.
when they had Mourinho, we
Right.
played really well, and Mourinho was doing terrible. Fine. Then they get De Rossi, who's a complete new coach. He coached like I don't know, like some random team for like 10 seconds. Okay, he made Pioli look like an amateur, and Roma smacked the shit out of us in the Europa League last year. Like to me, it's the same players. There was no difference. The difference
Right.
was coaching. Like I look at it as I don't know how good our squad is. I think it's pretty good, but I don't think we know how good our squad is because this is now a continual set of terrible coaching. We didn't pay for Motta. We didn't pay for De Zerbi. We didn't even get Italiano. Like Italiano,
Yeah.
like we're talking about guys who do a good job with what limited they have. Maybe Italiano's garbage. Who knows? But what I'm saying is that like Fonseca is an average coach, and it looks like he's a below average
He's
coach.
bad. He's a
Guys,
bad
He's
coach.
bad.
And
we
listen,
have
listen,
we have to
guys.
give him
Also,
time.
also, also, guys. Right now, AC Milan has a wage cap total of 86 million. You do not have the best team if your wage cap is 86 million, guys.
I agree, but we're fucking up against small teams. Like that's what I'm saying. Like
I
we
understand where he's coming
I
from,
know.
like where
Listen,
Roy's
we should
coming
be able to.
from. He
No,
wants a super team, like
Yeah, of
from the
course,
big Milan time, a
because
Milan
that's
that
who we
can
are.
dominate and win. Yeah, yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. I understand where you are coming from, but still, like we, like our team for now, like for Syria, I'm not talking about Europe, the Champions League. Like still, like why are we this bad? Like
Yeah,
what's the problem?
yeah,
Well,
we're
yeah,
we're
the
not we're
ownership
not
is
playing
right.
against City. We're not
and
losing against City. We just lost against Parma.
yeah, okay,
Yeah.
understandable, but it's the second game. You
I'm sorry,
can't
man.
judge him over a 2 game period. You have to give him more time. We'll see. We'll see how he does against Lazio next week. We'll see how he does against Inter. Maybe he might turn it around.
Lazio
But
lost him.
I don't think it's fair the way you're judging him this quickly. You get
It's
what
not
I
about
mean?
judging. It's not about judging. It's about being worried. Like
Yeah.
you're. These are the games that are supposed to
Okay.
be the easy ones before you play Inter. That's what the problem. The problem is that it looks like we're about to get embarrassed in front of Inter. So
I don't think
to
so.
me, I mean, I hope. By the way, do you think any of us will be mad at Roy? I won't want to speak for you. Do you think any of us would be mad if suddenly, all of a sudden, Jerry Cardinale is like the most brilliant man, and every transfer that Moncada makes, that Emerson turns into the next Cafu, and Fofana is the next Gattuso, and Pavlovic is the next Stam, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera? None of us will be mad if Ruben Loftus-Cheek suddenly turns into Rijkaard or Hulit. None of us are gonna be mad. I'll be like, yay, hooray! But it's
But the
not.
problem with that, who's the next Cafu? Cafu is the next Cafu. You know who's the next Rijkaard? Rijkaard is the next Cafu. Ruben Loftus-Cheek is going to be the next Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Emerson
I know that.
Royale is going to be the next Emerson Royale.
I know that, but what I'm saying is that none of us will be upset if Fonseca becomes the next great,
Right, of course, of
amazing
course.
manager. None
Yeah.
of us will be mad. So the thing is that you could be right that maybe Fonseca, all he does is he needs time. The question is, at a club
Mm.
as big as ours, do you actually get that time? I don't think so. You don't
Look,
get that time.
I think, look, if you look at it in hindsight, the Serie A is probably the most competitive league there
Yes,
is in
I
the
agree
world
with you.
right now. So you would expect this. You would expect no less. do you think De Zerbi would have come in and immediately he would be smacking everyone? No, he wouldn't. It's the Serie A. I think you have to remember
I mean,
where we're playing.
Ooh,
I don't know,
I think
man.
I think De Zerbi would be a
as
little bit
as
smarter. I think De Zerbi would be a little bit smarter.
I mean,
you're right. You know what? You're right about that one. I think De Zerbi is phenomenal. But for now, we have Fonseca, so we deal with Fonseca.
no, but it's not the question isn't. Yes, all of us hope that Fonseca becomes amazing. What I'm saying is that we're looking at the choices that are being made, and it's like, has Fonseca showed you anything so far that makes you think
No,
we're good going forward? Because
no,
no,
zero.
I'm definitely more. I'm more
It's
patient.
not.
I don't see
I don't.
anything that makes
Yeah.
me want to believe. I see terrible choices.
Look, I don't think it's got anything improving going forward. I think we've seen an improvement in the defense. That's where I
Yeah,
think
yeah, that's
Hey,
we see how
exactly.
good he is.
guys, let's talk about this. What changes would you make against Lazio? Let's go one at a time. Whoever
Hmm.
wants to go first, go ahead.
Uh, I think get Ruben Loftus-Cheek out of the number 10 position. I think put Reinders there and potentially drop Ruben Loftus-Cheek back to number 8, or even drop him and put in Fofana and Benacer in the double pivot and put Pulisic.
Now,
I don't.
listen real fast. Benacer,
Yeah.
is he not playing because they're trying to sell him, or
I
what?
think so.
Like,
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I genuinely don't understand Benacer. He's phenomenal. He's better than Musa. I think you stated it before.
He's our best
How are we relying on Musa over
Because
Benacer?
he's
It
American.
doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't
I
make
think
sense
because
to
he's
me
American.
at
If he
all.
was, if the kid has talent, but he needs coaching.
Yeah.
I mean, the kid can't pass, but I think you can see like he's a young player. I mean, that's why I'm not
Yeah.
like screaming at like Musa because he's a young player. But the thing is with Ruben Loftus-Cheek, he's 28. Like he should be a pro. Ruben Loftus-Cheek plays for us like he's doing us a favor. Bro, you're not that good. You're not good enough
Uh,
to act like he can be. Again,
he's not
it's a
horrible.
question of which Ruben do you get? Do you get Ruben Loftus-Cheek against PSG? Oh, that'd be great. But we don't get that player every week.
Yeah,
Like
but
we
then
don't.
look, Ruben Loftus-Cheek last season, he didn't have a bad season. He was good in moments. Like he
He
scored against
scored
Empoli,
goals
he
that covered
scored
up
against
the fact he
Bologna.
scored goals
Like
that covered up his bad performances, in my opinion. That's my opinion.
really,
That's my opinion. I'm sorry. I think that listen, I think Ruben Loftus-Cheek, his best season was under Saudi, where he had Jorginho and he had Conte, and then he was the third midfielder, and he was awesome. Then he tore his Achilles. But what I'm saying is, are we playing him like that? No. Like if we play a 4-3-3, I think actually Ruben Loftus-Cheek could be a very useful, important player. But we don't play that way.
yeah.
So what's the point? What's the point of keeping him? I'm sure you could
Well,
like. Do you see what I'm saying? It's like to me,
yeah.
you. I agree. Like I agree with you in the sense of like he can be useful, but it's like what's the point of what's the point? It's like okay, back in the day they had Pancaro. Okay, great. He's a useful player to have. But the thing is that like if you're gonna play Pancaro like you did Serginho or Otto, it's not gonna work. You can't play. You can't. You can't ask players to do something like if you're asking them to do something that they're not good at. Why are you surprised when they don't perform? Like it's very weird. Like if you ask Ronaldo like R9 Ronaldo to be a winger, is he a great player? Yeah, he's one of the best players of all time, but he's not a winger. You're putting him at wing. Like if you put like it's a question of what are you doing with these players?
yeah, it's because these guys thought that if they put Chukwueze, Pulisic, Leao, these guys are going to be great and they're going to defend like hell. They're going to win high press, but
No, but
so
they
he,
don't
so
because Pulisic.
so he so he's forced to go with the hybrid midfielder cam because he needs to create balance. But
But
even
Ruben
that
doesn't
doesn't
even
work.
do the midfielder stuff. That's the thing. Where did he?
Yeah, even that doesn't
He
work.
didn't defensively. He wasn't anywhere today. Like, did he run back when there were breakaways? No.
No,
Did
I
we?
don't think
Did
I don't think we
we saw
won
nothing
any
today?
balls up top. I
He
don't
did
think we won
nothing.
any balls up top.
So what would you
Let,
change? Like, give me the
let me
formation.
answer. Let me
Yeah,
answer real
yeah.
fast this question. I'll go. So first of all, I completely abandon this idea of pressing high and high
Oh
line.
yeah.
Yeah.
Abandon this idea. immediately. Actually, you have players like Leao who strive on open field, so play to his best qualities, which is
Mm.
the counterattack best fields. Don't play him against a close defense. And listen, I predicted he's going to go. He's going to do what he did with Roma. He's going to go on a three. I just saw right away. Do the 3-4-2-1 or 3-4-3 right away. Don't even waste time. Do it right now. Play a little bit more conservative. Be a little bit more. Think about the defense a little bit more. Think about closing space, and then attack space when you have the chance. And you will do more or less what Parma did today, but with a little bit more ball possession, a little bit more control. But don't fucking have your defenders in the final third of the opposing team.
Mhm.
That's, I mean,
I think
that's what I would do.
for me, I haven't watched Lazio at all this year. So then they have a new coach, so I don't know. I think for me personally, I would try and adapt my tactics to my opponents. So I don't know what Lazio do this year to try and figure out what I would say. But I think that the the best way, I think Abdi, I think that's your name. You talked about having Fofana, Benacer, and Reinders, and let all three of them control the midfield, and let us sit a little bit more. Let the teams come at us. Let's be more like we should be. Let's
Yeah.
be patient. Let's be patient with our buildup.
Yeah,
Let's let teams come at us a little bit. Let them be impatient. But he
yeah.
doesn't want to
I
do
think
that.
you're spot on.
I
Yeah,
think
I think
like,
you're spot on.
and I
Yeah.
think the idea of putting Pulisic as a 10, Pulisic had his best year as a right winger. So what was the solution that Fonseca thought would be brilliant? Put him at a 10. Why? Why?
Yeah,
So just ask, let players do what they do best. That's my view.
I think with the case of Pulisic, I just think he has to grow into the season because last year when the first game he played as a 10, I think it was it
Against
against
Lecce.
Udinese at home?
It
No,
was
no,
against
oh yeah,
Lecce, I
Lecce.
believe.
Yeah, Lecce at home, and he scored right away, a banger with his left foot. So I think Pulisic is reliable. I just think he hasn't had a good couple games. But I mean, I think you're spot on. I think now Lazio, what they're going to do is I think they might adopt the same style whereby soak up pressure, hit us on the counter,
Yeah,
and let
of
us
course.
cave in.
Every team
But
is going to play like this against us
but what I'm
now.
saying is, it's
We've been
also like
exposed. It took
because
fucking
we
two
can't build
games
through
to
the center.
completely expose us.
But because we
And
can't build through the center. Like what attacks did we do where we built through their center and passed them like passed around to open up a chance? We didn't do it. All we
They
relied
did
upon.
lose today, though, yeah. Lazio, they did lose. Let me see how they played.
Oh, great. But I mean, like again, if Lazio, great, Lazio's probably does badly, and then when they play us, suddenly they're gonna have an amazing time because of the way that we're set up. I mean, yeah, they lost to Udinese, great. So I mean, I don't know, man. I think that when every team we play suddenly has like a has like their best game of the
Yeah,
season,
that's
it
always happens with Milan.
Yeah.
Always.
right. But what I'm
They,
saying is that I think at a certain point you should realize that our setup is giving them the space to
yep.
do the things that they want. And we're not closing down what other teams are doing. We're not forcing them to think like if you have really great attacking players and you're creating danger, then the other team is on the back foot. They're like, "Oh shit, I can't attack as much as I want. We don't want to commit as many things like that." Like to me, I don't know. I don't see us being dangerous enough. Like the whole point of pressing from the front foot, right? Like is you want to press from the front foot so that you force the other team to be scared and to make problems. So for example,
I
comparing I
think
saw
we are.
somebody in the let me just complete this one thing.
Yeah.
When people I think someone in this chat talked about Liverpool, the front three pressed, sure, but their midfield three when they are at their best were not amazing players. They were not supposed to be like they weren't in a 4-2-3-1 shape. No. When Liverpool at their height, they had three hardworking midfielders who controlled the game. They controlled the middle of the pitch to make sure that Salah and Mane and Firmino were able to do what they needed to do. So the thing is that like to me, if you want to press high, it's there's a difference between pressing high and you're just pressing in that midfield third. Our problem is that we press, but then we get the
And you
press
are
is
not
beaten.
aggressive.
Exactly. And then they have to run back. Like
but
making
like,
70
but
yard runs
also,
each time is
And they
bad.
don't run back. Yeah.
but pressing high is also quality. If you don't have players that
Yeah, I
know
would
how to
still
press high,
press high, but with a lower line, and with another formation and other players. I would play 4-3-3. I would replace tomorrow with Gabia because I think he's better. And I would play with Fofana. Okay, forget about Minaser. Fofana. Yeah, we don't have another CDM. Fofana, Reinders, and Loftus-Cheek maybe, or Musa, doesn't matter. Maybe because of that, I would play with Makers on the right wing. I would still press high, but with a lower line. Um, yeah, that's how I would play.
I think if you press high, you have to have Benacer and Fofana in that midfield. You
Yeah,
have no other choice
Mm.
because they need to be able, they need to sit more. You need them to sit more. Like you can't, like, in order for us to press high, like teams are, and thanks Defensive Dynamo podcast, I'm glad that you brought up, like, we knew that Parma was going to be on the counter, and like you said, we put Calabria and Teo, and we're like, no, push forward the whole time. If you're going to have Teo push forward, why does Calabria have to go up? Let him sit. Let him sit. Let him sit with your other, like. But everyone's caught out of position. You're just having those two guys, your two center backs, to try and cover everybody as they're static. Our entire team is static when we go forward.
I mean
So
that
you
that
know.
that's modern football. Like with a team like Milan, every team in Europe now presses high. Even small teams, even Parma today, pressed high. You have to press high, but again with a lower line, with organization.
But when you
Uh,
press high, you have to have organization to
yeah,
if
that's what I'm
if your
saying.
press doesn't work, because
And
every
again, not
Liverpool,
this
Man
high. Like
City.
our back line was like we literally passed the midfield line. Uh,
'Cause-
and again, that's why I would play fucking silly makers instead of
Oh,
Pulisic.
Salamakers is a player that wins balls in the
Yeah,
opposition half. So if you want to
yeah,
press high, you play
yeah,
Salamakers.
yeah.
Whether you like it or not, if you want to press high, you need players that know how to win the ball in the final third of the opposing team. Salamakers does that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Bilal, how you, man? It's been a while.
Yeah, it has. How you doing, Roy? You okay?
Good, good. Gianpaolo, huh?
Yeah, man. Gianpaolo. Oh my God, it's deja vu all over again, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah. Go ahead. What's up?
I didn't watch the game today. I missed it, but tell me like what was happening. What formation did we play?
Oh
Like
my
what was
god.
who played the best? Who was the
Don't
worst?
let me relive it, bro. Don't let me relive it, man.
Just, just give me a snapshot of like who was the best and who was the worst in terms of players.
The best was the Parma players. Well, that's who the best were.
The
It,
newly
it, it was look. I'll do a really quick. Okay. The team played super high, and we kept on getting caught on every counterattack. Literally every counterattack. As soon as Milan lost the ball, the opposing team had 70 yards of pretty much open space or 3v2, 2v2, 3v3. And that was the story of the game.
Yeah.
and what was there any structure or formation that you could see that we were playing to? Like was there any?
No,
Do you
dude. It
remember
was
how we played against? Do you remember how we played under Pioli?
Yeah.
That's how we played.
Worse,
Just worse.
worse.
Like it was just
So
it was just it was please lay out, Teo, please save us as we ask you to dribble through
okay.
everything. Musa was no defensive shield. We just relied on our two center backs to try and save everything. There was no organization, there was no passing. There was just utter chaos. Just
Uh,
chaos.
I mean, we had a couple chances here and there, but we weren't clinical enough. And I mean, we tied the game to 1-1 and conceded a stupid goal due to a catalogue of errors. And from then on, we just died. There's nothing more to say.
We had a moment in the first half where we could have scored with reindeers, or like we had like 4 or 5 corners in a row. And then the second half, Leao just, I don't know what the hell is wrong with Leao shooting, but it's so bad.
Yeah.
What the? I don't understand it. Rangers hit the crossbar from a long shot, but for the most part, Parma had an answer for almost every attack, and
Did
as I said, they would
did,
counterattack really easily.
did any of the new boys play like Pavlovic or?
Yeah, they
Yeah, he did
played.
pretty well.
And
He did pretty
Fofana.
well.
Yeah, I listen. I wasn't Pavlovich for me. This is my opinion. Pavlovich as a defender did good, but tactically he was
Poor.
all over.
I think the second
over.
goal. I think the second goal was on him. I think he lost his man. He
I think
lost
it
his
was
man.
Theo. I think it
No
was
way,
Theo.
no.
It was
Yeah.
Theo.
The
No, no, no,
second
no, no,
goal.
no, 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 no. The second goal. Yeah. No, the second goal. The second goal. There's a Cancellieri is right behind him. He completely.
Yeah.
He doesn't mark him
No,
at all.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no.
Watch it.
The,
Just watch it.
but he has
Two-
to go
yeah, I
down.
saw.
Pavlovic was too free to roam. Too free to roam.
No. I think we're putting too much on Pavlovic here on the second goal. The second goal was, remember, Liao made a horrible cross.
He did.
Emerson was out of position. He
Yeah.
didn't run back. So Mori had to come and cover the guy that Emerson Royale was supposed to take care of. And that left Pavlovic, with two guys to handle, essentially. And Theo wasn't marking the guy at the back post. So
Who was
Listen,
our?
I'll
who was
sorry,
our
Bilal.
centre mids?
Bilal, I'll give Pavlovic a concession because it's his first game in a formation in a system that makes no sense.
Yeah.
But let's say he did good, in defensive.
He made good
tackles.
interceptions, and that's what people are
Yeah.
going to give him a
He-
lot of credit for. But
Yeah.
And his
tactically, I
marking
think he
was
was out of
good.
shape. I think he was out of shape
Yeah.
more often, but he was able to recover.
And him going all the way downfield, like attacking, being a
Yeah,
striker.
he was up. Like,
Yeah,
you can't talk about.
exactly.
He did that
Exactly.
continuously.
It's the coach.
Who's
That's the coach. That's the coach. Yeah,
Who was in the double pivot?
Musa Rangers.
Yeah,
Okay, that seems okay. How did they perform?
Terrible.
that seems bad. We literally have
Yeah.
no defense in
let's
that.
say Musa was horrible. Reindeers, he was alright, but for his standards, he was pretty bad.
Yeah.
And then the attack was Okafor, Pulisic, Liao, and who was on the right?
Pulisic.
So who was number 10? Don't tell me Loftus Cheek.
Yes,
Of
he
course.
was.
Oh,
Yeah.
And he was the worst. I think he was the. I think
Yeah,
he was
it's
the worst
purely-
of the three. I think Ruben Loftus-Cheek, like why they kept him, like he kept him the full 90. I still don't understand. I physically don't understand.
do you know?
Yeah, I think it was a confidence issue more than anything because as the game went on, he was just getting every single ball that fell to his feet was getting either snatched off him or he was making a horrible pass. I think it was more of a confidence issue with Ruben because I don't believe he's that shit.
I'd rather
There's
sell
just no
Ruben
way.
and keep Adley. I'm sorry.
Can I? I just.
I agree. So,
So do you know when we play Inter and we high press and we were high and up the pitch and then they sit back to decompose and their counter attack was with Lautaro Martinez and it was Lukaku. Do I get the sense that Parma were doing that? Sitting back,
Yes,
waiting for us to-
actually, that's a good call.
exactly.
It was very similar to that
Yeah.
game, except worse.
Okay.
They didn't
So-
finish. If Parma had
so-
more quality, we would have conceded a lot more goals.
Yeah, so this isn't a Fonseca problem. Then this is a mentality issue to do with the squad. It's not because if you've got two separate coaches who've presumably got different ideologies, then and we're
They don't.
still getting out of
Yes.
position. No, but here's the point: if we're still supposed to be attacking, pressing, but then being caught out of position or out of possession and not retrieving possession back, then that's a mental thing. It can't be tactics.
Yeah.
No, it is tactical because even when you're attacking, you have to. Again, I said this earlier. Something called rest defense, where it's
Okay.
when you attack, how are your players positioned so that when you do lose the ball, because it's going to happen, even the best team is going to lose the ball. Like Man City, Liverpool, pick an amazing team. They have a way in which they are structured so that when they lose the ball, that you minimize the damage and
Yeah.
the risk of being countered. We
Yes.
have no rest defense of any kind. What we have been relying upon, Pioli did this, but it seems that Fonseca's even worse, is we're essentially relying on the brilliance, the one-on-one brilliance of our defenders to be able to compensate
Yeah.
for a lack of tactical setup. Like they're just begging Tomori,
So are they-
Pavlovic, someone bail us out.
So, are they having loads of like 1v1s, 2v2, 3v3?
Yes.
Yeah, all game, the whole game.
All game.
And were we running back? Were our back four?
Yeah.
running back
Everybody's
towards
too
the
late.
goal?
Always on the back
Everybody's
foot.
Too lazy to run. Yeah.
No,
It's
but
like
are
we
they-
press high and we are not aggressive. You know, we are
So-
just watching them play.
No, but were our back four running back towards our goal?
No, our back two, because the two fullbacks were in the stands pretty much.
Yeah, Teo had like the first goal was on Teo Hernandez. I love him. I love him
Mhm.
with every, I think he's the best left back in the world, but he had a terrible game today, and he did not. If he just ran a little bit, he could have intercepted their first goal. It was a really bad play from him. There's really no excuse, none.
And nothing's on Mike Magnon. He played okay
No,
today.
Mike. Nothing was on Mike today. I think I mean Mike kept us in the game against Torino, and I think today I don't none of the goals were his fault. There's nothing he could have done on any of the
Yeah.
goals.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Why is Gabia not playing? By the way, he was
Yeah.
our best defender.
That's
Right now, Gabia should play over Tomori for sure.
Yeah.
Ooh, I think
Not over.
Tomori had a good
No,
game, man, today.
I think
Tomori had a
Tomori
good game?
I
and
think
Gabby
Tomori
are
had a
good.
good game
He
today.
got humiliated
I
today.
don't know.
You need that
Humiliated
right
when?
left foot.
I don't remember, but
I don't know. I don't think the center backs are the problem. I think the problem is
yeah, of course
any
it's
any
not. Yeah,
any defender who you leave one-on-one, there's going to like even
that's
if you
true.
play an attack when you expose defenders to that much one-on-one play, they're going to be hurt. Like you're going to lose a duel, and a cross comes off and it's just like that's the issue. Our
That's true.
defenders,
It's the whole team.
our back four is constantly exposed where they're just asked like, "Oh, just defend." Like where do you see Reinders or where do you see Musa coming in to help the fullback to cover up or to help the
that's-
center
Again,
back?
that's a good
this
point.
is true, but what I'm saying is, Gabia is a little bit than tomorrow. I think.
I disagree. I'm sorry.
The-
I love you,
the-
bro. I disagree.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I respect
That's
it, man.
That's a good point. Are we leaving? Is there a big gap between our back four and the two central pivots? Like
There's
the
a gap in
midfield?
everything. Like it literally, again, just imagine Pioli, but worse. That's literally
Yeah.
how we're playing.
It's like we don't have CDMs.
Yeah.
And-
Even if I think even if Fofana, listen, this is how I look at it. Even if Fofana becomes the next Conte, like world class defensive midfielder, right? Even though Conte was, but you know what I'm saying? Like, let's say Fofana becomes the next Rodri, we're still gonna have problems because of how disorganized we are, and how like even if Fofana plays out of his mind, okay, and fundamentally changes everything, we still gonna have a problem.
Yeah, but
Also, because Emerson is that was Tottenham Emerson today. Like that was like he was terrible.
He was
Terrible.
definitely caught on the second goal.
Oh,
Definitely caught.
definitely.
He was way up the field.
So I heard everyone, largely all the fans were saying getting Emerson wasn't a upgrade on Calabria. Was that true today?
I mean, it's the first game. You know, it's hard to get. You know, even Tomori, his first game looked phenomenal. I remember. So it's the first games. It's hard to really judge players' first games. And are they even fit? You know, are these guys even match fit? I don't know. I don't know.
I've read somewhere that Benacer's off to Saudi Arabia. Is that right?
They're trying
Yeah,
to sell
yeah,
him, obviously.
yeah.
Yeah.
Why on earth would you try and sell him if you're like your midfield is? I mean, yes, we've got Fofana now, but Musa's not the end product. and
Because
Benacer-
I think
Because Musa's
because he's got high wages, and if you have to renew him, there's no more growth degree on him. You have to pay him.
You know, he never was
info.
on growth decree. That's the thing. Never.
Oh, he never was on. Okay,
Never
so
was. That's why
so
he's
there you
he's
go.
more expensive. Yeah.
I think we got a big offer that they can't refuse.
Okay, if
I'm-
you're getting 40-50 million for him, then that's fine. But
I don't think we'll get.
I
that.
don't think
We'll
it's
get
fine.
30.
Why would you sell your best midfielder? Even
yeah,
if
but if you're getting
for a
50
big
million
offer.
and Fofana,
I think
But it's
Adli's
too
better
late
than
in
Ruben
the market,
Loftus-Cheek
you know?
and Musa, but we're sticking with those two.
Hold on. Here, I'm reading this thing here. Fonseca said, "We were affected by the early goal, and then we faced a team that closed up very well. Teams like Barcelona, City, and Real, which we faced in the USA, play more openly. And we
Yeah,
had no
that's
difficulty with them.
yeah, no shit. That's what
But
Pioli says.
but they were playing against the fucking Primavera. Those teams. They weren't playing against the real fucking squads.
But that shows you how delusional Fonseca is. If he thinks that preseason, right, is some sort of reflection of how things are. This is Torino and Parma should have Torino should have shown him something, but it didn't. He just again, it's the idea of like, oh, if I just put in better players, it'll be better. That's not how it works. You have no plan. There is
Yeah.
no plan
Roy-
whatsoever.
Roy, do you remember with Pioli this used to happen where we used to concede early and then we used to just basically have no plan, gong ho, and then lose the game like 2-3-0, or we won't be able to get back into it. I think we're lacking leadership on the pitch, because whenever a team goes down 1-0 within the first 10 minutes, there should be someone who's saying, keep calm, don't lose your heads, don't worry, we've got 80 minutes to get back in the game, and you like keep composure. But it just seemed that we went down early today, didn't we? Like it was 1-0 quite
I
early.
think we lacked
yeah.
leadership. We lacked
Yeah.
leadership. I think Teo Hernandez, who again I love, was not a leader today. I don't think he
The only leader
he
on that
did it.
pitch is Mike Mannion.
Yeah,
I can't imagine
but again,
anyone else shouting on that pitch.
but it's not. I think
Morata maybe, but
maybe yeah. But I think personally, I think that leadership, fight, all these sort of things, they only work when you have a semblance of organization. Today, I looked at a team that had no idea what to do. That's
yeah.
why I'm afraid. That's why I'm not like
Yeah.
Teo had a terrible game, but I don't think the today should be about Teo Hernandez, didn't work hard today. I mean, he worked hard offensively, but like it wasn't like Teo when he wants to shut down someone defensively. You know those games where someone like does something and he's like, "Nah, I'm not going to let you do anything today." And he just becomes like a great defender. He didn't have that one of those games today. He wasn't trying that hard today, which is fine.
Yeah, and listen, Theo never starts always 100%.
Yeah, he starts slow. He does.
He always
But
starts
the thing
slow.
is, we don't even have a left backup that we could put in to let him get slowly back in for this season. We have to rely upon him and Leao. Like we're relying on that for them to build up their fitness and all sort of stuff. No, like that's the problem with even the way that this squad was built. Like, let's say we sell Benacer. What are we selling Benacer for? And do we have a backup left back? We don't even have Florenzi, who would have done a better job
Right.
than Terracciano. Like again, there's fundamental problems here to me.
I think we're going to switch to a 4-3-3, because I think what's going to happen is that if we're selling Benacer and we've got Fofana, Reinders, I think, are we going to go for Coney? Is that so? That's our three, isn't it? So
Apparently he's
Fofana
off
and
to
Reinders.
Roma. That's what somebody said.
No, I think he's signing with Roma.
Oh. Oh,
Okay, but we're going to definitely need to sign another midfielder. We won't get rid of Benacer and keep.
I think we're signing Voss, some Silvano Voss, some kid
yeah,
called
but he's a
Silvano
kid
Voss.
for the future. Like it's not fair to have a kid who's only played a few games for Ajax's first team to solve things. Again,
It is possible that we might get Rabiot. It is possible. Rabiot is still
Why
there.
don't
He's
we-
still free.
Why aren't we going with Rabiot, Chiesa? Why aren't we going for these players?
Chiesa's injuries is the scary thing. And
Yeah, but he's going to be sitting on the bench. He'll be.
I agree. By the way, I would sell Chukwueze. I don't know why we kept
No.
Chukwueze for a second year.
We
Like
don't need to.
I don't. I think Chukwueze also. You if you want to keep Salamakers, fine, but sell Chukwueze, bring in Chiesa. If you want to take that risk, take that risk. But also, I don't know why we were even moving Pulisic out of the right wing spot to begin with. Like that was the problem. Like just the whole squad building was just poor from top to bottom. Again, I don't know. Why is Musa still around?
Look, I think it's good that we're having these problems at the beginning of this season rather than towards the end. Only because now we know what we can fix, and Fonseca has time to think about it and fix it up. So if I'm putting a positive spin on it, I would say that like at least it's now and not later. No.
Let me finish reading what Fonseca said. So he said teams like Barcelona, City, Real, which we faced in USA, play more openly, and we had no difficulty with them. First of all, you played against a Primavera. That's why you didn't have any difficulty with them. But anyway, the reality of Serie A is that teams are more closed, and we can't escape that. So why didn't you fucking think about that if you know?
No, but Torino didn't play that closed against us. That's the thing. Torino didn't. This wasn't Torino under Juric, where they just sat back and they're like bitches to play against. That wasn't what Torino was. Like Torino actually, they moved back and forth. In the second half, they closed up, fine. But in the first half, Torino played. They built up. They held possession. Like look at the stats in the first half against Torino. They held possession. Parma passed around us today. Passed around us.
But listen, Torino did close up. Like they build up, yeah, and they go forward. But
Yeah.
like when we are attacking, they immediately go back
Yeah.
and they close up with fucking
Do you know-
10 defenders.
I just think with Milan now, so much focus was on our attacking players when we should have largely been focusing on our defense, because last season our defense was shocking. I think we letting like almost 69 goals, was it, or something? I think.
On
if
midfield, you
I'm
mean?
say that again, sorry.
On midfield, you mean? We need
No,
CDMs.
well, yeah, and defense,
It's the whole
because we
team.
need.
Like that's a problem with the
I think you could replace our
defense.
entire back four, and if we
Yeah,
would
Yeah,
still see the
it's not
same
the back
problems.
line.
I
I
would
don't think
much.
it's not about our players. I like I don't even think it's about players. I think it's about like you look
It's
at
also
how
the players.
disorganized. Yeah, okay, sure. But I'm saying is that like the player, who are we getting rid of? We're getting rid of Yassin Adli. Who would you pick between Adli and Musa?
Adli, no doubt.
No one.
Yeah. No. But I'm saying, okay, I'm saying you have one of those. I mean, statistically, Adli's stats are insane. But like, look at the comparison between Adli and Musa. Who would you pick? They're picking Musa over Adli. Why? That's to me
Genuinely,
an
with the Adli
Today
situation,
we
I
know
don't
why.
understand.
Today we know why. But yeah, Ali is out of a project now.
Yeah, they're
Well,
gonna sell him. One of the few midfielders we have who can actually pass, we're getting rid of. Great.
Well,
Benacer,
Exactly.
one of the few passers we have, we're getting rid of. So now it's just gonna be Reinders. Reinders is the only one who can pass. Great. Fofana's a good player, and he has a pretty good progressive pass rate. But like, great. Now who are you gonna put? You're gonna put what? Ruben Loftus-Cheek,
We just need
who
another
can't pass,
CDM.
as our
We-
10?
well,
No.
I mean,
here's
Reinders
what
can play as our 10, or just play 4-3-3 again, change the formation.
But who's gonna be your? I don't think Fofana's a CDM. I think
That's what
Fofana
I'm
is
saying. Like, we
yeah.
literally need another CDM before
But we don't.
the.
The two players who would be if we played a 4-3-3, right? I'd be
Yeah.
cool with that. The only two players who can play in that kind of anchor role are Benacer and Adli. They're the only ones who can do that thing, and we're selling both of them. So
yeah,
who are we gonna put there?
but
Because
in
Musa
terms of
can't do it.
solutions,
Oh, they got to bring in someone. That's why I'm thinking maybe Rabiot. Like I don't know. They can't.
Yeah,
Rabiot,
Rabiot,
They
yeah.
can't
isn't Rabiot,
down. They
but
can't
Rabiot,
downgrade
right?
because
But
if they
isn't
keep
Rabiot more of like a side midfielder? Like he's
Yeah, we need a.
like
But
he's
yeah,
not like a true CDM. Do you know
right,
what I'm saying?
right. But
You'd be
they
forcing
can't
him to do.
downgrade. They have to bring in
Look at it.
players
Look at them
that
try.
know what they're
I
doing.
think they're going to try, Roy. They're going to try and surprise you. That's what's going to happen.
well, I
like,
think I think this is what I would suggest. The first two games we've let in four goals. I think I would, if I was Fonseca and I was looking at this team, I would say, right, the next 5 games, I want to keep clean sheets, and I would be happy with just 1-0 wins, just so that we get some composure and just some structure in the team. Because at the moment, it's just gung ho, isn't it? It's like run up, don't come back, get
it's gung ho
thrown
without a plan. That's the thing. You can be, if you want to attack, like he's not Zdenek Zeman, okay, the very legendary attacking manager, okay, in Serie A. He's not like, you're not seeing beautiful, intricate passing and beautiful attacking moves, and they're like, oh, okay, like screw defense, we're gonna just be attacking. No, it's like he's trying to be attacking, but it doesn't seem that he even knows how to do it. That's the thing that pisses me off. Like it's not like we're winning 3-2.
And also,
Yeah.
listen, to defend Fonseca, the management does not help him because the management should have given him a team way earlier. Like he needs to prepare the
that's
team
true.
now, right? So that's
But
also
the reason
a
why,
big factor.
the one reason, Roy, why I don't even want to give Fonseca that is because we don't see anything from Fonseca. Like we see nothing that is
No,
like
in the
like
preseason, we
no.
saw. No,
Yeah.
look, if you look at the preseason games, right, we started off from the back with short, snappy passes,
Yeah.
and we were playing really well. Like, I remember against Real Madrid and City, we were playing
And then
from the
and then
back.
think about it. And then
Hold
once the
on.
games, once we got past those games against Monza in the preseason game,
Yeah,
it was Pioli ball. Like I remember seeing that game and being like, "Yo, what the hell was that?" Like Reinders had an awesome goal. Like the goals bailed out the fact that our performance was a Pioli game. When I watched the preseason game against Monza, I was like, "Oh shit, this isn't
Guys,
good."
unfortunately, the sad truth is that Redbird and GERRI Cardinale and them folks were more interested in winning the American tour than actually the Scudetto. Now that's a fact, unfortunately.
I think
That's
they
a
want
fact.
to win. They're just incompetent. I think like I think it's not a question. I don't think they want to lose. I think they're just incompetent. Like
Yeah,
they
they don't
don't
know what
know.
they're doing. Of
They don't know
course.
what they're doing. Like that to me is like again, you know why Jerry fired Maldini? Because Maldini took the attention away from him. That's really what it comes down to. And Ibrahimovic is
Yeah.
just a sideshow who will make sure that there's attention, but Jerry will get to be like the owner. We're like, remember when we got to the semifinal of the Champions League? All they wanted to talk about was to Maldini, and he hated that. He hated that.
Yeah.
It's about
And,
ego.
yeah, and I want to read this too, guys. Check this out. So he also said, I have to say that I'm always primarily responsible for what happens with the team. I take responsibility and don't want to shy away from that. But here, guys, this is what I want to stay on, and I want to know what you guys think. This is what he says next. But it seems clear to me that there's a collective problem with our defensive attitude and aggression.
Yeah,
I think that's him
that's obvious.
blaming
That's so
that's
clear.
him blaming the players instead
Now,
of him.
yeah, all right.
That's what it
Isn't
sounds
he?
like. It sounds like
Isn't he blaming the players?
that's like saying like,
He
hey,
needs to blame himself.
I think
Like,
he
like
starts
you
out
should.
saying it's my responsibility, but you know what? These assholes, they're not trying hard enough. They're not, you know, uh, no, he
Right.
should be unequivocal, be like it's my fault, but he's not. He's
Exactly.
saying he just
That's what a coach should be doing. He shouldn't be blaming the players because
Well,
if you
that's
blame
what.
the players, you lose them. You lose
Yeah,
them
but
right
that's
away.
that's what Morata said after the first game, didn't he? We weren't intense enough. There's no intensity, and something about mentality as well.
but
I
it's
think.
different from your play. It's different from a player than from your coach. Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, no, it is. You're right, but Roy's right as well. This is how you lose your players, and that this is a Gasperini all over again, isn't it? It's 7 games in, we'll have 4 draws, 2 defeats, and 10th in the table or something. So yeah, I think if we don't win convincingly our next 2 games, I don't know who they're with, but
We're playing Lazio
before that,
next, and then I think it's Verona, and then it's Inter.
yeah,
I
I
think
think
it's
if
Venezia,
if
maybe.
he
I'm not
if
sure.
Oh,
he hasn't
Venezia.
won.
You're right. You're right.
If he hasn't won a game before the derby and we lose that, he's gone.
He's gone.
Yeah,
You
I
think he's
think
I
gonna
he's
hope.
sign?
gone.
I hope so.
No,
Actually,
well, think of it this way.
I don't
Look,
trust him.
we've got Verona, and then who after
No,
Verona? Who have we
Venezia. It's
got?
Venezia. It's Venezia. It's Inter.
Venezia, and then who else?
Inter.
It's Lazio, then Venezia, then we have the international break, then we play Inter. So
Yeah, that's
hopefully
right. Yeah.
over the international break, Fonseca, like to me, like again, I think these opening 4 games to open up Serie A would have been a great way for you to make sure that you have your shit together. All I see is disorganization. And even though this Inter, they don't, by the way, they do not look like the Inter of last year. They don't. They don't look as hungry. They don't look as like they don't look as sharp, which means that you had the opportunity to get things together. I mean, honestly, I am not looking forward to the derby. I
Well,
think the
listen,
derby is going to
listen,
be ugly.
listen, listen. Sooner or later, we're gonna fucking win one because we've lost 7 in a row. So sooner or
6,
later,
yeah.
we're gonna win
But
one.
I mean,
but
I'd love
Roy,
for him to win it. I mean, again, no one wants him. Like, no one here even the people who are the most anti-Redbird people are going to be like they don't want to like lose. But it's just like
yeah, but
it's so bad. Like these games are so
yeah,
bad,
Roy,
so
but
bad.
Milan after an international break have always been shit. Like whenever we have that winter break as well, and we come back in January, how shit are January and February's? And I just think with this international break and then playing Inter, we're gonna be so shit. Like I can't. There's
I
no way
mean,
we're winning that game.
if this is what we play like, yeah, then yeah.
No, but do you understand that whenever we come back from international break, we play
Yeah, no,
shit.
I know. I mean, I think Inter's probably gonna have more players out, so they might suffer a little bit more. But even last time, I remember was the exact same thing. But after the international break, they beat us 5-1, right? So
I,
yeah.
Pioli played into their hands, and so far, looking at what I've seen with Fonseca, he's going to be even worse.
I mean, the
Or
next game is gonna be the breaking point to me. Like, if he doesn't fix the defense, I the only thing I don't agree with you is his attacking style. I think he has actually some tactics. I saw something good in the preseason. Even though like we played against Primavera, we also didn't play with the first team. Like I saw something good.
I saw
I
no,
just
I agree with you.
I
I
just
saw
want to
things.
see like a game where we don't concede early and the players get fucking shocked and nervous and they don't want to run or whatever. I think our attacking style is not that bad, but it's our defense. If he doesn't fix that the next game, I think it's game over. it's already 2 games. Like he
It could
said the same thing after the first game, and somehow our defense got even worse the second game, like literally worse against
Yeah,
Parma.
he
Not
totally
really.
messed it up.
How?
Yeah.
I mean,
All right, guys. Listen, 2 more minutes, then I gotta go. So, any last words, you guys? Anybody? Anyone to put in any last words? Now
Purely
is the
in.
time.
I just want to say purely in.
Purely in. You were
Yeah.
purely out last year.
Yeah, I'm only messing, Roy. I don't care anymore. We're gonna lose against Inter. We're not winning the league, so I'll see you guys hopefully after the next game when we probably lose again.
All right. So, last question, and then we'll close, guys. If Fonseca does get sacked, who would you want to see in on the bench?
Maldini.
What's the
I think-
options?
I guess it's between. To be honest, I think realistically, it's either Allegri or Sarri that get the call. But
I would.
I don't think
never
Allegri.
do
I don't think
Allegri.
Allegri
I
picks
hate
up the call.
Allegri.
No, I think.
I mean, I hate Allegri. I'm just saying, like,
Well,
I
who
don't-
would you
we don't
want?
know.
Let's put it that way.
Who would I want? Oof.
Yeah.
What's the options? That's what.
Yeah, with the options available. So Conceição is available. Tuchel, I
Is
think, is
a-
available.
I want an
Will-
Italian coach.
Allegri is available. Sarri is
Will-
available.
I take
Will
Sarri.
Abate?
Yeah,
will
sorry,
Abate
sorry,
be
it's
available? Will Abate
Abate.
be available?
No, he took over City
like-
B or City B
Yeah.
side. I think.
Oh, guys, tomorrow, by the way, Milan Futuro. So that's going to be a fun game. But yeah, so let's keep on going. I say Sarri too. Yeah,
I
agree
think
with
I think
Sarri.
Sarri might be the best
Yeah,
choice.
Sarri.
I
Yeah.
mean, it's not the. I mean, again, I wanted De Zerbi or Mata were the players like who I wanted this summer, and that's who I thought they were going after. And the funny thing is, they did go after Mata, but they went in too late, and Juventus beat us because Juventus knew what they were doing. But I don't know. I think Sarri. I think an Italian coach is important. I'm not like Mr. Italy and all this sort of stuff. Like I don't. But I think when it comes to like Italian managers, still the best in the world. So I mean. Sarri is a great coach, and he's the one to get. I think.
Yeah, I agree.
I think he's the one.
I
Where's
agree.
De Zerbi?
No,
Zerbi's
but
in
De
Marseille.
Zerbi's at Marseille. He's not going to. If De Zerbi was available, then yeah, I would. If De Zerbi was available, I'd fire Fonseca now and appoint De Zerbi now. Like, but we can't do that. Like,
Yeah, De Zerbi started strong.
yeah,
Started
he
very
did.
strong.
Like he like the team he played Brest, and they were third place last year, and Marseille smashed them 5-1 to open their season. So
Yeah,
I mean,
but
like,
do you know De Zerbi? Even in the Premier League, people were saying like he's a really, really good coach. Like they
yeah,
were really
because
singing his praises.
but people saying because his second year at Brighton wasn't that great. Like he's at Brighton. It wasn't like he was
Yeah.
at Chelsea or Man United or City and he had a bad second season. He's at Brighton. So I mean,
I think.
like, yeah.
Yeah, no, I think loads of players were saying he's a really, really good coach. So, yeah, no, well, we'll
our
see.
own
Anyway,
our own Kevin Prince Boateng. Literally, just
Yeah.
look up Kevin Prince Boateng De Zerbi, and he literally just like look it up on YouTube. He talks about. He's
Yeah,
like, oh no,
that's
De
right.
Zerbi is going to be one of the greatest coaches of all time. Straight up, just
Yeah.
said it. So
Yeah.
yeah.
100%. Nico, 100% coach should always take the heat. That's right.
right, I'm off, lads. Take it
All
easy.
right.
All right, guys. Everybody, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having
So
me.
wait, hold on.
Right, thank you.
Maldino double Z. Are you Amir? You're Amir, right?
Yeah,
Who's Amir?
it's me.
Maldino?
Maldini, yeah.
And double Z, who are you in the chat?
I'm Zugazig.
Zugazik. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Great stuff. Really appreciate it. Thank you, everybody, for joining us in chat. Click that like button, subscribe, do all that good stuff. We're going to keep on doing lives, and we're going to see how the season goes. So, yeah. But anyway, it is what it is. It is
Thanks
what
a
it
lot,
is.
man. I
Have a
appreciate
good
you.
one. Have a good one.
All right, guys. Have a good one. Peace out, everybody. Next
Bye-bye.
time.